I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills.
So I don't know if she's complaining or just stating.
Angel Reese recently faced a lot of criticism after expressing her frustrations about her WNBA salary. She mentioned that her earnings of $773,000 a year aren't enough to cover her expensive $8,000 monthly rent. This has led many to question her complaints, considering her salary is quite substantial compared to what most people earn.
I am sympathetic to that, but yeah, sports needs villains. I don't have a problem with it. She makes the WNBA more interesting.
Reese, who is often seen as one of the most favored players in the league, appears to believe she deserves a pay increase. It seems she's trying to stir up attention again after a while without any major controversies.
The number one complaint this offseason in the WNBA would be the incessant whining about their minimum wage salaries. I mean, who could have possibly...
What exactly are you asking for more money for, Angel? You've played less than 10 games this season, while Caitlin Clark has played through 38. Plus, you're only attracting about 7,000 fans per game.
Yeah, sports needs villains. I don't have a problem with it. She makes the WNBA more interesting.
And yet, you expect to be paid like LeBron James? Let's be honest. You seem to be focusing more on the drama than the game itself. Angel Reese, who claims to be the face of the WNBA, is out here acting as if life is terribly unfair. Despite earning a salary of $773,000, she has the audacity to complain that it doesn't cover her $8,000 monthly rent.
Now these complaints are coming from the star.
That's right. She's living in a place that costs $96,000 a year and then wonders why her finances don't make sense. It's hard to believe how disconnected she seems. Spending $8,000 a month on rent is more of a lifestyle choice than a necessity. The average person in Chicago, where rent is around $2,000, would be shocked by her complaints. Most people can't afford to spend their whole paycheck on a luxury apartment and then complain about it. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is playing the victim, while many other WNBA players are working hard just to get by. The audacity is truly remarkable.
Pay and pays them bills, baby. I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at.
And let's not even talk about her financial choices. With all the money she's raking in from endorsements, sponsorships, and her podcast, you'd think she would realize that renting an overpriced place isn't the best idea. Instead of making wise financial decisions like buying a home or investing, she seems to be spending money faster than most people earn it. What's her plan? Is she just waiting for a magic fairy to come and fix her problems?
What is my... I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. I don't even know my salary. Does it? What is it? You don't even... Yo! I'm living beyond my means! Like...
It's both hilarious and sad at the same time. Angel Reese has the chance to be a role model for her fellow WNBA players, many of whom are genuinely struggling to make ends meet. They don't have million-dollar endorsement deals. They rely on their league salary and are barely scraping by. Yet, here's Reese complaining about her rent as if she isn't surrounded by cash from every direction. It's disrespectful to everyone in the league who is truly trying to stay afloat.
Complaint this offseason in the WNBA would be the incessant whining about their minimum wage salaries. I mean, who could...
She's really acting like she's bearing the weight of the world on her shoulders. The WNBA is facing serious financial troubles, with projected losses of $50 million this season, yet she believes she deserves a bigger piece of a pie that isn't even there. Seriously, Angel, maybe take a look at the league's financial situation before claiming you're being shortchanged. The WNBA is basically on life support, surviving thanks to the NBA's support. That's right, charity. Without those NBA funds, this league might not even be around.
They know this isn't an actual business. They know their league is a charity that survives off of generous donations from the NBA.
And let's not even get into the "but her endorsements" argument. Sure, she has sponsorships, but let's be real, she's not the only player in the league facing financial challenges. Most of her teammates are truly struggling. They don't have the luxury of endorsement money and are barely making ends meet on their WNBA salaries. Meanwhile, Here's Reese acting as if her personal financial situation is some kind of national crisis.
That video from Angel Reese, that was 100% intentional. I'm telling you.
The public has rightly criticized her for this. It's one thing to advocate for better pay. No one is arguing that the WNBA's pay structure is fair, but it's another to act like your luxury rent issue is something everyone can relate to. Come on, it's like watching a spoiled kid complain because their new toy isn't shiny enough. Meanwhile, her peers are just trying to cover their basic living expenses. Yet, we're expected to feel sorry for Reese because she's struggling to maintain her lavish lifestyle.
So I don't know if she's complaining or just stating, but if she didn't play basketball, all of those other things that she's getting would not be able to pay that $8,000 a month rent.
Let's not overlook the fact that she seems to be lacking some basic financial management skills. As a well-paid professional athlete, why would you spend nearly 6 figures a year on rent instead of investing in a home? At this point, you have to wonder, what is Angel Reese doing with her money? Is it just disappearing? I guess budgeting isn't as exciting as airing grievances on social media.
And do all these things and then go, oh, woe is me. Oh, it's, you know what? You guys are all coming down on me and I can't handle it.
Angel Reese seems to be living in her own reality show right now. Instead of concentrating on basketball, the sport she's paid to play, she's busy live streaming herself during the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Clearly, her priorities are elsewhere. While other players are grinding and focusing on improving their game, Reese is busy showcasing her influencer lifestyle. So the question is she a basketball player or just another wannabe celebrity chasing likes?
The reason I'm assuming that Angel Reese was not modeling lingerie is because she constantly complains about lonely men on social media sexualizing her. Lonely men look at my bikini pictures and compliment my beauty. It's so traumatizing.
And let's not even get started on her trash-talking mission. She's all about bringing drama to the WNBA, trying to be the league's bad girl. But when it comes to money, suddenly she's complaining about her salary. This whole act of being the self-proclaimed villain and then flipping to play the victim is just a joke. Fans and analysts are rolling their eyes at the contradiction. You talk a big game, Angel, but your actions don't match up at all.
Angel Reese was complaining because her woke welfare donations from the dump aren't enough to cover her rent in Chicago.
What's even worse is her constant failure to use her platform for anything meaningful. She could be addressing real issues in the WNBA and advocating for change, but instead, she's too caught up in her own problems, acting like she's the only one struggling. It's a slap in the face to every player in the league who is working hard without the benefit of endorsement deals and constant media attention. Angel, you have the platform to make a difference, but all you do is complain.
Percent of players in the WNBA, they are broke. They don't have endorsement deals. I mean, who is going to pay an unknown pretend basketball player to endorse their brand?
Her priorities seem to be stuck in fantasy land. Instead of saving or investing in her future, she's living like she has an endless supply of money, only to play the victim when the bills come due. She could be using her platform to promote financial literacy and help her fellow players who are genuinely struggling. But no, Angel would rather throw herself a pity party because her $773,000 salary isn't enough for her extravagant lifestyle. It's tone-deaf, entitled, and frankly embarrassing. What's even more laughable is that, despite having multiple income streams, from endorsements to her podcast, she still can't seem to manage her finances. This shows that the real issue isn't the salary, it's how she's spending it. Instead of building her brand and securing her financial future, she's out here complaining about her self-created problems.
You can't say, I'm going to be a heel, I'm going to talk trash, I'm going to point to my ring because you don't have one, and do all these things and then go, oh, woe is me. Oh, it's, you know what? You guys are all coming down on me and I can't handle it.
The real kicker is that she has every opportunity to be financially secure, but chooses to spend like there's no tomorrow. What's stopping her from finding a more reasonable place to live? She acts like she has LeBron James level money when in reality, she has a solid salary and some endorsements that any smart person would use to invest in their future. But not Angel. She'd rather complain and play the victim instead of taking responsibility. She's not just out of touch. She's in a whole different galaxy at this point. Instead of using her platform to educate other players on financial literacy and show them how to maximize their earnings, she's too busy whining about how unfair life is, all while living in a luxury apartment that most people can only dream of.
To be an income, but think about how many people don't and have to actually live off that.
I know.
That's really sad.
Angel Reese isn't just failing herself. She's failing the entire league. She has the spotlight, the attention, and the income to make a real difference, yet she chooses to waste it by complaining about problems she created for herself. That's what makes this situation not only ridiculous, but downright embarrassing. At the end of the day, the only thing Angel Reese has truly mastered is how to squander an opportunity. Instead of being a role model, she's busy playing the victim in a situation where she holds all the cards. It's almost tragic, really. She could have been something greater, but instead, she's showing everyone exactly what not to do when you're fortunate enough to have a platform and the potential to create positive change.